Okay, this is the final design project for EngFiz 2E04. We'll go over some of the breadboarding tactics here first. So first of all, these two wires here are just connections to resistors just for spacing issues, this yellow and this green wire. Here we have the 7-segment display attached to the decoder chip with resistors that are all 220 ohm resistors. Then we'll go over to this side. We have the clock signal here, but before I go over that, we'll talk about these two wires here. These are just to connect the power rails for the second breadboard. We also have two wires here that are connecting one breadboard to the next. And of course, the DC header board is providing the power supplies on the rails for these two and these two now. Now back to the clock signal. There it is right here. And of course, the clock signal through this orange jumper wire here is connected to an inverter chip. This is obviously used because last time we ran into problems, so this helps with that. We've color-coded the white wires to represent the clock signal. So as you can see, there are 1, 2, 3, and then we have a jumper over here for more space for 5 clock signals for the 5 outputs we are using for our design project. Now we'll go over the chips. So we have 2 AND chips here, and we have 1 OR chip right here. And then if we move over here, we can see, of course, we stated this was the inverter, but we have 3 JK flip-flop chips, and we have Q1 represented on the bottom side of this chip. We have Q2 represented on the top side of this chip, Q3 here, Q4 here, and Q5 here, and if nothing is taking room on this last end of the last JK flip-flop chip. Yes, and this is our circuit in total. Next we'll go over the color coding for the wires. So the wires are color coded. We have J1 representing with orange wires. We have J2 with yellow wires, J3 with red wires, J4 with gray wires. Grays are hard to see, but it's right there. On top of that, we have J5 represented with green wires. And then we have not K1 and not K4 represented both with black wires. We have not K2 represented with a brown wire, which can be visible right there. We have not K3 represented with a blue wire, and we have not K4 represented with a purple wire. On top of that, we also color-coded, if we had more colors, obviously we would use different ones, but we color-coded the outputs here with similar colors to the other ones, but these are more visible, obviously. We have Q1 represented with the blue wire on this decoder chip. We have Q2 represented with the yellow wire on this decoder chip. We have Q3 with the orange wire, and we have Q4 with the purple wire. And yes, this is total our circuit. We'll now go over to the 7-segment display just to see it outputs the correct student number, which is 400264816. And we'll let it cycle through one more time. And as you can see, the circuit is working correctly as we stated it to be. We'll now jump over just to the Hantek to just quickly view the clock signal, which is working at one frequency, or a frequency of 1 Hertz, working at an amplitude of 1 volt, and is a square wave as obviously designed with. And yes, this is our final circuit for EngFiz 2E04.